This guy, his name is Michael A. Aquino. He is a Lieutenant Colonel, Psychological Operations, 1st Special Forces Regiment of the U.S. Army, retired. And this guy was all up in it. He's an Army officer branch for psychological operations. His additional branch qualifications include armor, civil affairs, military intelligence, special forces. He's done additional skill identifiers include foreign area officer, psychological operations, special forces, defense attaché, strategic intelligence, force development, operations and training officer for. He's a psychological operation. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a very long list, as you can see here, of things that this man has done having to do with the psychological operations. And what he has also done is he wrote this paper, From PSYOP to Mind War, the Psychology of Victory. He wrote this Mind War document, which did get leaked. And I just want to read a couple of things out of this because I think it's important for you to understand. He says, psychotronic research is in its infancy, but the U.S. Army already possesses an operational weapon system designed to do what LTC Alexander would like ESP to do, except that this weapon system uses existing communications media and it seeks to map the minds of neutral and enemy individuals and then change them in accordance with U.S. national interests. It does this on a wide scale, embracing military units, regions, nations, and blocks. In its present form, it is called Psychological Operations, or PSYOP.
He outright says they're about to declare war on all populations, both the U.S. population and any enemy populations, and that is the whole point, to use this paradigm of mind war to convince all parties, friendly, neutral, enemy, that this entity will win the war.
Yes, and this again is called mind war. And so he says he doesn't want to call this psychological operations. This should be rightfully called mind war. And he says that mind war must reach out to friends, enemies, and neutrals alike across the globe, neither through primitive battlefield leaflets and loudspeakers of PSYOP, nor the weak, imprecise, and narrow efforts of psychotronics, but through the media possessed by the United States, which have the capabilities to reach virtually all people on the face of the earth. And he's talking about electronic media, television, and radio, and then of course later now we have computer communications. State-of-the-art developments, he says, in satellite communication, video recording techniques, and laser and optical transmission of broadcasts make possible a penetration of the minds of the world such as would have been inconceivable just a few years ago.
This is a far-reaching document, but they very clearly talk about an information-based psychological war through the media to all populations.
Yes, through the world. And once again, we're seeing this same thread that we've seen before, this same argument. Like the sword of Excalibur, we have the courage and integrity to enhance civilization with it. If we do not accept it, we relinquish our ability to inspire foreign cultures with our morality. So it's that argument that if we don't do something, someone else will. Mm-hmm. We have to do something. We have to inspire foreign cultures with our morality. Anyway, if they then desire morality is unsatisfactory to us, we have no choice but to fight them on a more brutish level. Mind war must target all participants. If it is to be effective, it must not only weaken the enemy, it must strengthen the United States. It strengthens the United States by denying enemy propaganda access to our people and by explaining and emphasizing to our people the rationale for our national interest in a specific war. And then he goes on to say, under existing United States law, PSYOP units may not target American citizens. Today we have U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news to America.